Okay. Now, the preseason game. Uh, the Orioles play tonight at about 7:05. 7:05 is the first pitch. I'm just kind of wondering how the Orioles are going to handle this game tonight in Boston. It seems like everybody just seems like it's a little bit more, a little bit more in it. I mean, I should say more in it. But it seems to me, it seems like it just seems like it's going to be a good game tonight. But the pitching matchups, I don't know yet. I don't know anything about that yet, but I'll check that out later. In the football game today, the football game this afternoon was about noon when the Baltimore Ravens took on Atlanta in a preseason game. Um, this one was kind of on the 13-12 win over the Falcons today. Since when I knew the Ravens could win this game today. I kind of thought they would, and they did. Won by a score of 13-12. That was a close game, very close game. And I think the Ravens' next game's in Green Bay, which will be about 1 o'clock their time. They'll be flying out to Lambeau Field in Green Bay. So that's all we have now. I'll be back and I'll talk about the Orioles right now. This Orioles team tonight is really going to be a very tough game for them. This is going to be a tough one. I don't know who the pitching matchups are yet, but I can say for most of the league right now, it's lately starting to begin with it. I mean, it seems like everything you see now today doesn't work. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But sometimes it always goes downhill for the O's before you ever notice it. And I can see where the Orioles need some good, solid depth. I know they got the depth for it, but honestly, I don't know how much these teams are going to be really capable of winning this thing. I can't figure out what this team's going to do tonight, but this Boston club is going to get better. Last night's game, it was terrible. It was 12-10. That was the final score last night. It was 12 runs, 14 hits, no errors. It was 10 runs on 17 hits and no errors for the O's. So that was a little bit more. That to me sounds like they're coming back. And that is, they got to get more runs on the board. That's the only reason I'm a little concerned about this. I'm not sure how much concern a lot of these teams feel. A lot of these teams are really looking good now, but I don't know why. I don't know what the reason is. I don't know why, but I do know this is really getting interesting to me. This is getting real interesting. These two teams are going to battle it out tonight at 7:05. But I'm not sure if this team is really consistent where some of these teams would be so hard to put to back. And this team is really looking kind of good before they start out the same. But this team sounds like it's a little bit more knowing that they know what they have to do. They got to keep winning. The pitching has to stay healthy. Now, I'll see the game tonight at 7:05 p.m. on O's Baseball. This is Orioles Magic. This is going to be one of the greatest teams, of which I think this is really one of the best teams in the league right now. But this is one of the best. This is one of the best teams in the country right now. This is one of the best teams in the league right now. Because I don't know how much of their team is their depth. But Boston does have some good depth there. But I don't know how much of experience they're going to have, because they're all going to be spread out together with their lineup being like this. Tonight at 6:30, I'll have a pregame show. The pregame show is going to be on around 6:30 tonight. I'm kind of Voice Extra. So we'll have more on that, and we'll have a preview of tonight's game for you here on Masson. Because it's just like so. I don't realize this. Sometimes these teams really look good for what the depth they got, the depth they have out in the field. Because I know what they're going to look like, but I don't know the pitching's good enough. The pitching has to be well enough to control that ball to get it over the plate. I thought last night really was so stupid last night when I saw that umpire call that. It was really something, but it was just so how should I put that? So worked down. It was so down because this whole thing is all going forward. And when I saw the lineup was scratched last night, I kind of thought something was wrong, and it was. Rushman has a contusion of the back contusion. He was scratched last night from the lineup, so I don't know what his condition is. So I don't know what his condition is right now. And it just seems to me that the injuries are really piling up for the O's. But right now, I don't know how much this team's really going to be improving a lot. If this team plays as good as I think they will, tonight's game is going to really be, it's going to be an experience for what they do and what they don't. I think this team's really going to be a good active club before tonight's game really does start. And I really think this is one of the best teams in the world right now, because this one's, it kind of involves more with the depth they have and more people they have out in the field. It seems to me that it's really going to be a tough race this year for the Orioles and the Yankees. And I know a lot of people have been wondering what these Yankees have been doing so far. They won last night by a score of, I don't know what the score was last night against Detroit. It was 3-0, I think it was. 3-0. They were shut out by a score of 3-0 last night with the Yankees winning. But sometimes I think this is quite off a little bit, because this is really what they don't have, what they need to do, or more and more, or what the depth they have. I think the Orioles realize what they have and the depth they have. And I think most of the pitching and the lineup is good. I really think this lineup is really a well put together one, because I don't know if it was something I done or something I said or whatever it was. But tonight's lineup I don't have yet, but I'll give it to you around 6:30 tonight. I'll give it to you around 6:30 when the Orioles meet Boston for the third game of this series. This is the third game of this series. This is the third game of this series tonight. Just so people think I wasn't kidding. because I don't know. It's supposed to be a 4:05 start today, but they thought it could be a night game, but I don't know if it was switched or not. This way the schedule had it here. The schedule had a 4:05, and I don't know if it was right or wrong, but they must have changed the game time for tonight's game, but I don't know. Uh, I don't know. 7:05. That's what I thought. I thought it's a 7:05 start tonight, so it's changed to 7:05 instead of 4:05. So that game is later on tonight. So you'll be able to see the game here on Masson. So you'll be able to, we'll just say they're going to be kind of with the depth they have. I think most of it's going to be all there tonight because this sounds to me it's really going to be an action where they're going to have the squares where they're going to have their depth out in that field tonight to play smart baseball. And I don't like what I seen last night because it looked to me like they couldn't have caught that thing because they started to make not any mistakes, but I still don't think this is it's kind of hard to say where some of these teams are going to be better than what you think. A lot of these teams are really looking good. They're looking better. They're looking the depth look good. I think everything looks good. But this sounds to me a little bit more weird. What weird to me is how much depth they have, how much depth they got left. But this sounds to me, the way it sounds to me is let's just say this. If you can realize that the Orioles know what they're going to have to do, I think they're going to really have a tough decision to make this weekend because this weekend they only got one game left before they go on the road to see the Mets on Monday. I don't know if all these teams are really going to look better for what I can see. For what I don't know, I'll have to check that out tonight before I can go on with this and try to figure out what they're going to do first. I'll have more on this tonight at 6:30 here on Masson, and this I'll have more on this tonight at 6:30 when we come back for O's Extra. And then we'll have more on that and we'll have more updates of which I'm hoping that I can get some more information about the team and knowing what they're going to have to, the pitching wise, what's going to happen tonight. I know where the pitching matchup is, and we'll have more on that tonight. We'll have that more coming up on O's Extra. We're going to really get into baseball this weekend. I mean baseball. I mean everything's going to be all baseball. And we're going to get into it and we're going to really take a chance at this. I don't know if anybody wanted to decide this before the end of the year. But this season's going to get tighter and tighter and tighter. And that sounds like it's really getting tight. It's really getting tight for what the Orioles have. I think they got it. I think they have it. I don't know. So we'll have more on that later. So I'll have more on their depth problems, of which in their hurting times, I don't know yet, but I'll have more on that information tonight. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you on our next show, which will which will air about 6:30 tonight, when the Orioles will take on Boston for the third game of this series. So stay tuned for that, and we'll keep updated of all the scoring and everything going on with the Yankees and everything. But I'm a little concerned about that. I'm a little concerned about the Yankees series. It just seems like they're just keeping everything quiet and more not knowing what the scoreboard reads. Because sometimes these scores don't come up so fast at the ballpark, rather. As soon as they get the information, they transfer it down there, knowing that's going to happen. It seems like it just seems really crazy when the scores come up. When they do come up, it's just everything just gets close. And I thought last night was going to be a close game, so we'll have more on that tonight at 6. So stay tuned for more baseball, and we'll keep updated of everything on the home front. So we'll be back at around 6:30 when we start off with the Orioles and the Red Sox. A preview for when the Orioles do take on these Red Sox for good, for real, tonight at 7:05 right here on Masson. We'll see you then. We'll see you later. See ya.